come to the last two winter zodiac signs.
Aquarius and Pisces?
I don't know what your observations are, but this interesting sign of the air family, Aquarius, is already incredibly fond of its freedom. They're not exactly the type to easily listen to others, and they have a rebellious side too. What do you observe in your clients?
They do whatever they want. They do what they know best. They follow their own path, do what they believe in. There's no need to explain much to them. They already know. They come across as know-it-alls.
They just go with the flow, right?
Or, I say this about some of them. They're like men on a mission, etc. They come prepared. They've already done their research. They deal with things in a concise and focused way. They do the work they believe in. You can't force them to do what they don't believe.
And it's really not very easy to get them to do anything either.
It's not.
Isn't it strange?
Including marriage.
Rules.
You can't just marry them off for no reason. Let it be natural.
Yes, today I brought my microphone and computer because I'm also recording audio for the podcast. We got a bit carried away on the podcast too. Like a storm, really. By the way, my voice is shot too. Sometimes people leave really nice comments. Underneath, bro, never mind, just keep talking anyway.
Your conversations show substance.
Seden, in my research on Özgür Buzkova and in the astrology literature, they've done some studies related to skincare. I wanted to tell you about some of the findings written there. A bit. I saw a comment like, why do the men have oily skin while the women have dry skin? A French. There's a statement made by an astrologer. He says, I did this research. The men have a much higher rate of oiliness in their skin. The women have dry skin. I don't know what you think about that, but since it's a winter sign, doesn't dryness make more sense?
Let me put it this way now. Since we said Aquarius sign,
Yes.
when you look at an Aquarius woman as a woman, she's a researcher. For men, it's more like, what's the need? So it's not that important.
Oily. It gets oily.
Because women look at it differently. What's important here is to distinguish between summer and winter. Since we're a winter sign, our birthdays and such are also approaching. Around this time of year, when they don't use the right products on their skin or wash with hot water, their skin dries out.
This is more about making the right choice. For example, the hot water issue, they ask you about it.
I've probably said it thousands of times for all 12 zodiac signs, probably here as well.
In every one of our programs, we've said don't wash with hot water, but it works. Actually, I understand from the comments written below. Of course, you also promised me a Q&A session. At the first opportunity, we'll do a live Q&A. As much as we know, of course.
As much as we know, of course. So don't ask about everything, okay?
Taking advantage of the opportunity, people ask questions. Like, I have this problem on my face. I have this problem. What can I do about it? That's the kind of questions they ask. Sudan, in this series, the thing I look at the viewing statistics. Which countries have watched it? Did you know that? Azerbaijan is in first place. Sending greetings and respect to Azerbaijan from here.
Love to them.
They are our brother country. But Azerbaijan is in first place. Interesting.
Let me put it this way. We are usually the ones most curious about what's happening in Turkey.
And then they saw one person, an astrologer and a beauty expert. A skin specialist too. What
does that have to do with anything? Do you ever wonder what the connection is? But
while what it has to do, they made the connection.
They made connection watching.
They made the connection by watching. What are your observations about Aquarius clients who come to you?
As I just mentioned, because Aquarius has a self-aware nature, they usually do their research thoroughly. And now maybe Aquariuses will be happy. Other signs shouldn't be upset, but there is a Gemini with superior intelligence. Aquariuses are generally like this as well. I don't think I'm wrong about this. This is something I'm saying based on observation. Since they know so much, I don't have to put in too much effort with them. Of course, what's important is that they believe in the work being done, in what's being said. Once they believe, they follow through. Honestly, there isn't really a problem.
Is oily skin in men mainly due to lack of care?
No, let's not call it lack of care. Men have a certain mentality about this. The skin actually needs its own oil. I already shower. They think it goes away when they wash. Women put on so many things on their faces. Whether it actually works or not is debatable. That's the logic. But when my male clients see what comes out of their own skin,
Is there really such a thing?
For women, I give examples from the home. For men, I use examples from their cars. Cars need maintenance too. We do interior and exterior car cleaning. We also apply polishes. I always use those as examples. From that, it makes sense to them. When it comes to men, not in terms of zodiac signs, but men being metrosexual, that's the approach they tend to think of. But actually, if they approach it with the mindset that cleanliness is part of faith, I don't think there's any problem. So before cleanliness...
You know, I really do have Aquarius friends. They love dressing up. Look, for example, But
they don't like it anymore, though.
no, but for example, look, a perfectly clean shirt, a perfectly clean t-shirt on them.
They like cleanliness in that sense. Let's say it's a hygienic sign.
Yes, but when it comes to skin, it's really not like that.
Because of that, they think it's right. A logical explanation presented to them
It makes sense to them?
is what they want. It's not always easy to come across someone who is very knowledgeable and experienced in this field. I don't think there will be a problem when they find such a person. I think they'll take care of themselves.
So, Aquarius men, please understand that just bathing doesn't do everything for your skin.
Understand this. They've shaved all.
There are also too many products. It's all very complicated. Then they shouldn't use any products.
Let me put it this way. They need to use the right product at the right time and in the right season. They should drink water. They shouldn't wash with hot water. Look, this is free advice. No matter how much care you take, if you do these things, because the foundation is damaged, you can't get any results.
The program is over. Today is the final episode of the series. We're not letting you go. We'll continue with Seelin occasionally.
What are we going to do?
By the way, since I truly couldn't catch you at night, the live broadcasts at night are really quite popular.
We can do it.
In the evening hours. Actually, it would be really nice if we did a live broadcast one evening. Because participation is just different during live broadcasts, you know? It's not the same as when it's pre-recorded, Seden. Everyone comes home tired from work, and so on. Especially around 9 or 9:30. Live broadcasts start even more at those times.
People don't have many activities during the winter months right now. Outside.
No, they don't have any activities. Or the conditions of our times are already obvious. They just sit and try to watch something on the internet, on social media. Yes, Aquarius, who has practically made the Song of Freedom their motto. Sometimes in Aquarius men, as I said, besides being meticulous, there's also curiosity. If Aquarius focuses on something with curiosity, they pursue it. If it catches their interest, skincare becomes a passion for them. Smart.
Sign.
And also observant.
No, it's a smart sign, you know. But it's not easy to catch the attention of that smart sign.
There are also knife signs, I guess, among them.
So which sign are you?
Me? I'm Pisces.
Pisces. Can I say something? You're not naive at all. Pisces people.
Was that so? I kind of feel a bit naive myself.
I think that depends on the Pisces person.
Could be.
Pisces intelligent?
We have our dark sides too.
Yes. They can be sly and cunning, but they don't do it to someone they love. To someone they don't love. You wouldn't even notice. That's actually more dangerous, for example.
Oh no. I've noticed this. In my observations, the most... If they're experiencing skin problems, you've already explained in many episodes what helps with acne. You've explained it multiple times. I remember you recommended vitamin A. Let me put it this way.
Let me say it like this. Actually, vitamin A should be used after proper monitoring. Because, for example, if there are comedones on the skin, if the pores are clogged,
This thing called comedone is just...
if there's oil, then those are the primary ones that typically cause purging in the system.
That's not acne, comedone, it's not.
You know, there are ones where the oil is covered, and there are open ones. I started too. Those turn into acne.
I started too.
But do you want me to tell you the reason? Yes.
Uh.
The most important feature of vitamin A, or retinol, is that it renews the skin, right? Fibroblasts support the production of collagen, so they provide internal renewal. While doing this, during the renewal process, if there's any congestion, we encounter it. If there's any congestion, it immediately pushes it to the surface. But it needs to be used. If someone uses retinol and has sensitive skin, first of all, they should have their skin cleansed. If they start using it every other day to get their skin used to it, they won't experience major problems. But right now, everyone is recommending everything without paying attention. If you use it carelessly, that's when you might run into some trouble. Be careful with retinoids.
Yes. So what is your recommendation for oily skin? Very oily skin types.
Let me put it this way. Skin type's extremely oily.
Right? When you touch it,
Should I tell you the mistakes they make? Yes, oily skin types. Now, thinking that their skin is oily, they feel the need to wash it frequently and with hot water. If someone has oily skin, the first thing they should question is this: how often do I wash my face? Because they feel the need to do so. Unfortunately, when you use very frequent and highly abrasive cleansers, your oil glands become even more active. And because they think their skin is very oily, they skip moisturizing. But moisture and oil are two very different things. When you skip moisturizing, this time the oil glands become even more active because they can't find any moisture, leading to even more oiliness. That's why, if you have oily skin, you shouldn't cleanse too frequently. Morning and evening are enough. You should use a cleanser suitable for your skin type. Hot water will significantly increase oiliness. You should wash with lukewarm water. Always the skin. Other than that, I don't use a moisturizer. Remember, when you say your skin is oily, it's actually because it's lacking moisture. Afterwards, I definitely recommend balancing the moisture with oil-free moisturizers.
yes, now it's time. Now the emotional one of the water signs. I mean, thank God my rising sign is Leo. That's how I managed to get by a little, thanks to Leo. I think my attention to self-care comes from Leo. I mean,
Aries and Leo? I've already mentioned it before. Clothing. And besides their own clothing, they also pay attention to what others are wearing. Very much so. Is there? They say it? You can already tell when they arrive just by looking at them.
and I take a look like this. Like, what are they wearing? What did they come in?
Of course, of course. Yes, there is that feeling.
Instant analysis. It's a trait I have. Since it's a water sign that's very emotional and prone to depression, I've personally experienced it too. During my adolescence, I struggled a lot with acne. I've really dealt with it because stress directly affects the skin. The skin,
It doesn't affect the skin, your life.
what you said is true too.
I mean, after a certain age, emotionally, they can feel really bad. Or rather, Pisces actually has this particular trait. That's what I've observed. By the way, it's a strong sign. I think people who can truly cut someone off are very strong signs. And when they love, they really love. I really think these are things that require consistency, and I believe it's a strong sign. It's just that those empaths, because their empathy skills are extremely strong, they feel the other person very, very deeply. They can't control their emotions. That's why they're called an emotional sign.
But this causes problems.
Of course, our lives are exhausting. They think well, but they get tired. And when their souls get tired, they get labeled as emotional. But I think it would be great if everyone could be a little emotional.
Unfortunately, sometimes we can also be terribly mistaken. We trust because we love people.
So, yes, there is a sense of trust in them, but when they do trust, my cousin is a Pisces, for example. They trust very easily, but sometimes the disappointment they experience is just as intense. I think it's best to find a balance, not seeing things as completely black or completely white. Right there.
I wonder if we can find it.
As humanity, we need to find it. Otherwise, we can't be both very angry and very sweet at the same time.
Unfortunately, we can't.
And we shouldn't either.
Yes, now, if we look at the literature in general, in the astrology literature, Pisces is sometimes considered a sign prone to laziness. They tend to lose themselves, then they neglect skincare. They don't get their water jug.
It's not about whether they know or not.
Or don't know, that's not the point, my Aquarius.
Needs a lot of convincing to do it. Isn't that right? Pisces needs to have money, first of all. Because we love money too. We really do. They need to have money. Their priorities are different. Because they always put other things as their priorities. That's actually why they end up unhappy. When you put yourself first as an individual, it actually becomes a big problem. Yes, that's so true. Because you Pisces always put yourselves last. That's why you end up feeling even more sadness. Making yourself the priority.
And what emerges is a sign that's close to depression. Alright, just wait a second, sweetheart. Again, more issues with acne. In previous episodes, we already discussed this at length together. So, there are also some foreign sources that say Pisces usually have combination skin. I don't know how logical you'll find this, but my skin is combination. There are a lot of Pisces around me, and most of them have combination skin. For example, while this part of our face gets dry, these areas tend to get oily. I don't know why that is.
The oil in the T-zone.
How does that happen? Explain it to me. Why does my face get dry? I don't use hot water.
I don't wash with hot water.
For years I haven't washed with very hot water. Do you get red after you get out of the shower? I don't like it either. Yes, I do get red.
Well, that's hot for you then.
Oh, I see.
Compared to your skin.
The part that rises up.
7 times thinner, 7 times thinner. Got it? That's how it is. Just think of it that way now. Now, the water that touches your body, when you use it on your face, which is a thinner and constantly exposed area, that hot water, if you perceive it as hot, it's because your body is used to it, but it's still hot. All the areas where hot water hits from above tend to dry out. So again, hot water comes into play here. This is entirely due to the capillaries. As they become more sensitive, if the skin can't regulate even 2% moisture, it dries out.
That's really interesting. My forehead area dries out even more.
It hits directly from above.
See, what you said is true.
The initial heat hits from there.
So Pisces should never wash with hot water.
I'm not just saying Pisces. I think this applies to all 12 zodiac signs. It requires warmth, because very hot water doesn't mean you're getting cleaner. Very hot water, we also need it to kill germs. Because there's also no need to kill too many germs. If it's damaging your skin, please use it after letting it cool down a bit. Water that feels warm on your body might feel hot on your face. So make it lukewarm and use something different for your face. It's the same with hair structure, it dries out. A lot of dandruff, a lot of dryness. Instead of calling it dandruff, let's say there are those who have flaking due to dryness. While there's a very simple solution, you end up using all sorts of things and making it complicated. Hot water doesn't work for you.
By the way, since it's a sign that carries almost all the characteristics of the 12 zodiac signs, Pisces is the 12th sign. I think they should watch all the episodes carefully and consider the advice you give.
That's necessary. Of course I talk about the characteristics of the zodiac signs, but generally I focus on human nature. These are not just for the 12 zodiac signs, but things that apply to everyone. When you pay attention, things really turn out well, but when you don't, you end up facing a lot of problems. So pay attention to that thing you see as simple. Hot water actually causes harm to the skin.
And they shouldn't neglect their routines.
If they've chosen their products correctly, I think their routines...
You keep saying choose correctly, but it makes me nervous. What is it, for God's sake?
People don't know their own skin type. Without knowing, they try to do everything they see on the internet.
They try.
They can consult a specialist. Because there are so many broadcasts being made. Some promote products for money, some promote them knowingly, and some don't promote them knowingly. I'll give a very simple example. For curly hair, they say this product is amazing, that product is amazing, and so on. I said something like that for the first time in my life. No, it didn't work. Now, considering that it will vary from person to person, people shouldn't buy a product without knowing their own skin type. What's going on? How do you say it? There are so many products. Photos taken of customers. There's everything among them.
The world of marketing.
The world of marketing, exactly.
So have horoscopes and skincare finally come to an end? But we'll meet again in the settler section anyway. Let's get a promise for that too.
I think there should be a Q&A section. It's more natural. Of course, not everyone can go somewhere to ask what they're curious about or what they want to know. Or they can't get better with just information. That's why I want a Q&A from you. If I know the answer, I'll share it. If I don't, it's not a problem. We can research it together live. I'll combine what I know and share it with you again. So
then, dear viewers, I will be conducting polls for you both on my Instagram account, Evrim Turgut TR, and on YouTube at Evrim Turgut. During those polls, we'll bring the questions that come up to you next time. If you allow everyone, of course. No
problem at all. I mean, if it's something I can answer, why not? If someone knows their own area of expertise, the help they can provide.
Should be like that. Let's celebrate the year 2026 in advance. Let's send our heartfelt love to our viewers, and especially to Kanazar Beykan, who always tops the list of our viewers. May they all have beautiful skin, right?
May they wake up with glowing skin, not just for a year.
A radiant?
Yeah, wish for it for a life. Really. May their skin
Be beautiful, God willing. Even though the first half of 2026 doesn't look very promising.
Why?
Yeah, it's kind of like that. I'll explain all of that anyway. On my channel, I'll explain each one in detail both on Nocta TV and here. But it's the period after the first half. Anyway, this Pisces sign, our Pisces sign, is the last one. You know, it's really suffered a lot because of Saturn. For 2.5, 3 years now. Now Saturn is finally leaving Pisces, but this time it's moving into Aries.
I have friends who are Aries.
I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. They'll figure it out themselves. As Pisces, we know very well what we've been through. So, dear Aries, let's wish you a bit of patience as well. Let's pause as we wrap up the program. Let's not get ourselves down at all. In my opinion, 2026 looks like a year when the wronged will finally get their rights, according to the star chart. I'll be explaining all of this both on my channel, and you can also watch it on noctatv.com where I work. Sending you all our warmest regards and wishing you a happy new year.